Uhuru Kenyatta, a political genius or a neophyte? And what is Matiangi's role in his political chessboard relative to ODM? That's the focus of my analysis. To understand Matiangi's posture, we must put into perspective Uhuru's political ideology or lack thereof in the mountain and by extension the nation at large for the almost 2.5 decade of active politics. His was surely a short stint in politics, but with very great rewards. So here's a preface to the man. Uhuru's politics was that of patronage. He never won anything, but was imposed. His godfather, Moi, thrust him to the political scene from obscurity in an attempt to make him president, much to the chagrin of everyone. Subsequently, others had to make painful political sacrifices for his progression. One time, a politician from the Rift Valley, his name escapes my memory, had to sacrifice his stint in parliament so that Uhuru could be nominated after losing the Gatundu South seat. It is not a bug, but a feature that Uhuru adopted the politics of patronage. He's trying to impose Matiangi on Kenyans, but he's perfected it for betrayal. He first pulled this playbook on Mudavadi in 2013, promising to support him for president, only for him to end up with a knife in the butt. He then pulled it on Raila last election cycle. He also ended up with a knife in the back. Matiangi will not be the aberration. Maybe Uhuru has never forgotten what Moi did to him, because he also ended up with a knife in the ass. But what blows my mind is the fact that these politicians, including Matiangi in real time, cannot comprehend the staggering scale of his duplicity. Or maybe they do, but they choose to ignore, because Uhuru looks like your favorite uncle at a dinner party. He looks so harmless. He looks so trustworthy, he can fool anyone. And that is his political strong point. My friends, that is the more reason you should not trust Uhuru Kenyatta. Everybody think, and wrongly so, that Ruto is a dangerous politician. No, Uhuru is the goat. Because primarily, you don't see him coming. In fact, not even after the fact. Ask ODM. For 3 years, they've tried to conduct autopsy to pinpoint how Raila lost the last elections to no avail. My friends, Matiangi will not only end up with a knife in the butt or in the back, but at the top of his head. His will be a fatal blow. Just wait and see. Now, let me make it plain, and for the sake of argument, let's assume that Uhuru seriously wanted to make Raila president. Comparatively to Matiangi, Raila was a political demigod with roots all over the nation. Essentially, politically, he was a good investment. Uhuru was the incumbent president, so logically, this was a done deal. But what happened next, or what followed, is anybody's guess. So following the same logic, as president, Uhuru failed to make Raila a political demigod president, but is promising to make the poor King Matiangi, a political neophyte, president as a former president. But here's the highlight for me. He doesn't even have the Kikuyu vote. It's not his to give, it's Gachagwa's. So what's Uhuru's political endgame vis-a-vis Matiangi? A host of reasons, but majorly, the poor King Matiangi is a pawn in the grand scheme of things. Uhuru is running circles around him, but secondarily, he's trying to neuter ODM in Nyanza by removing the Kisii factor from the equation. Then the follow-up question is, to what end? Because certainly, it's not in his direct best interest. Or maybe we think so. Remember, a weaker ODM means less leverage, hence a powerful UDA and by extension, a powerful Ruto minus the low support. Don't forget that Uhuru has his most trusted allies working for the president. Consequently, the more reason we must negotiate for and get the deputy president slot. So here's my 2 cents. In one soup, Uhuru pretends to castigate the president, and on the other, his brother Muhoho, the Kenyatta family emissary, secretly meets the president at State House. Uhuru's politics is shrouded in tight maneuvers and secret schemes. He appears to be laissez-faire in his approach, but is pretty much on top of the game. He's an extremely smooth operator. Just listen in.
And I'm happy the representative of the Duke of Edinburgh Award is in our midst, my friend Muho Kenyatta.
Considering how Kenyan politics is inextricably intertwined with business, basically patronage, the Kenyatta family has so much to lose they can't afford to be in the dark or to be orphans for more than a decade politically. So let no one convince you that they can put their bet on the poor Okengo Matiangi, the weakest of the pack, to win them an election. Can't just happen. And furthermore, the family knows that it's in their best interest to keep Jubilee Party afloat, but here's the catch. They don't have a base, because Kikuyus already shifted their allegiance to the Madrigathi Gachagua, hence they want to use Kisses. God have mercy on them. As pawns on their political chessboard to grant them a negotiating chance by undercutting ODM in Nyanza. To disprove the veracity of my hypothesis, ODM must bargain for and get the slot of deputy president. Otherwise, I'll be right, and sadly so. So here's the point. My friends, forget anything you think you know about Uhuru Kenyatta and his latest moves to empower Matiangi. Uhuru might look like your favorite uncle at a dinner party, but he's not. He's so lethal politically speaking. He's such a smooth operator, he leaves no fingerprints at the scene of crime. He's more like the fictional character, the serial killer Dexter Morgan, who committed murder but leaves the scene of crime squeaky clean. But here's the highlight. Unlike any other serial killer who returned to the scene of crime or keep a relic, Uhuru doesn't return to the scene of crime or keep a relic. Ask ODM. So have a good day, everyone. Kindly subscribe and click that notification bell so that you get notified anytime I post. Peace.